Okay, we're going to talk in this video about subject-verb agreement. You might think subject-verb agreement, that's not very difficult in English. And you're right, it's not. But there are some tricky things you need to be aware of with subject-verb agreement. So I've put a number of sentences up on the board here, and I would like you to try to put in the verb need in the simple present form in all of these sentences. Make sure it's simple present because past or future, it makes no difference if it's singular or plural. So for example, this room is a singular subject. So you're going to put needs with an S because we need the S for third person singular. All of these up until here, I want you to use need. And then from here down, use the verb be. And try to see if you think that these are singular or plural. So pause the video right here and try these out and then come back. Ready? Pause. Okay, I'm going to assume you've done the work. Let's take a look at it. These rooms, clear plural subject. So we use need with no S. Furniture. If you watched my last video, we talked about nouns, singular and plural, and we talked about count and non-count. Furniture is a non-count noun. There's no one furniture, two furnitures. You can't say that. Furniture is non-count, and because it's non-count, it is treated as a singular subject. Okay? So singular subject. This furniture needs to be cleaned. In the next one, we need to think about this idea of a head noun. What is the core? What is the core idea? Are we talking about the chairs that need cleaning, or are we identifying just one? We're identifying one. That is our head noun. So one is the subject. One of the chairs needs cleaning. Don't get distracted by what's next to it if it's not the head noun. Each and every are used with singular count nouns. So singular is needed here. Each chair needs cleaning. The chair with wooden legs, what is the head noun? The head noun is the chair. The wooden legs are just describing the chair. But the chair is our head noun, needs to be cleaned. The chairs that go with the dining room table, that go with the dining room table is an adjective clause. It describes the chairs. The chairs is your head noun, right? So the chairs need a lot of work. When you say something needs a lot of work, it means it's in bad condition. You need to put in a lot of work to fix it. The dining room chairs and table. Conjunction, joining two or more items as a subject is going to be plural. The dining room chairs and table need a lot of work. Neither nor. This is a little bit confusing because when you have neither nor or either or, which is just taking off the N from both of these, you go with the subject that is the closest to the verb. The subject closest to the verb. Here's your verb. Go with this subject. Because we've got two subjects here and it's a negative idea, you go with this. So we're going to say needs. Neither the chairs nor the table needs to be replaced. What happens if you reverse it? Neither the table nor the chairs need, because we're going to go with chairs, agree with chairs. Okay? When you have phrases of quantity, these ideas of quantity, you look for what it is describing. Here, most of can describe count or non-count. If it's count, of course, it needs to be plural. So here we have a plural count noun. This is our head noun, actually, in this case. It's what the most of is talking about. So most of the chairs need to be fixed. Again, non-count furniture. So that is treated as a singular. Singular for the idea of non-count. Even though these are both most of, they agree, the verb agrees with this part. None, again, a little tricky, just like the neither nor. Formal English would dictate a singular subject-verb agreement. But in reality, both singular and plural are accepted today. So, none of the chairs. This is plural. You may want to go with the plural. But again, both options are possible. Need or needs. Now we get into something here between a number of and the number of. A number of is a quantity expression. It's like most of, all of, some of. It has the idea of several or a little more than several. So it's a group of the chairs. Not all of the chairs, but some of them. Just like this, we're going to go with this as your agreement. So a number of the chairs need fixing. Same kind of idea as most of or some of. This is different. The number of. This is not just a difference between indefinite and definite article. These have very different meanings. The number of is talking about the total number, the sum. So this is talking about all of them. And it's the sum total. This is treated as a singular subject because it is one total number. It might seem a little confusing if you're talking about something that seems plural, but it's one number. So the number of chairs needs to be over 30. So minimum 30, 32, maybe 35. That's a sum number. Then we come to what we call collective nouns in English. These can be confusing because other languages work with these quite differently. But when you have what we call a collective noun, a family, a class, a group, a team, those are singular nouns because we consider it, this is one family, singular. If it were plural, it would be families, but it's not, it's one family. So we need the singular. His family needs some new furniture, okay? Same as I said with other collective nouns. A team needs, a group needs. Now we're looking at the verb be, economics. Is this a plural noun? Can you say economic as a singular? No, this is not the plural of economic. This is a field of study. It's a school subject. So we treat this as a singular, just like physics or politics. Economics is a popular major here. You'll also find this with some diseases, diabetes. There is no singular diabete, so it's not a plural. It is one disease, diabetes. The news is also singular. When you have there, you need to agree with what comes after it. You've probably learned that before. So here we've got a quantity expression. Remember what you learned up here? What is our head noun? The majors. This is just describing them, but the majors is what we want to agree with. There are a lot of economics majors. Majors are the people who study something primarily in college. Here, a lot of competition to get accepted. Competition. This is non-count, so we're going to go with singular here. There is a lot of competition to get accepted. Applying to many colleges. Is this a noun or a verb? This is a noun. It is a gerund. That is the present participle form of a verb that is used as a noun in a sentence. When you have a gerund is singular. So applying is a singular subject. Applying to many colleges is quite common. Don't go with colleges. That's not your head noun. Your head noun is applying. Think about it as the colleges are not common. The applying is common. The United States. This is one country. It's a group of states, but we consider it as a country name, and so it is singular. The United States is very diverse. You're going to have other examples of that with the Philippines or the Netherlands. Even when it's a collection, if it's used as the name of one collective group. Talking about distance, time, and money. When you're talking about a total sum, a measurement of distance, time, and money, you almost always use singular. Yeah, even though it's 3,000 miles, we use a singular here. You may just need to remember this one as when you talk about measurements. Measurements of time, distance, and money. 8 times 2, mathematics, also uses singular verbs to talk about the sum, the product. A little bit like up here when we were saying the number of chairs. When we're looking at the sum product of something, we use a singular idea for that. 8 times 2 is 16. So hopefully this will help you with all of your future subject-verb agreement problems.